insane or that he has no control, as stated and proven by the physicians and the psychiatrists, over his emotions, over his actions. In this case, he's exempted, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Ahnaf from Bangladesh.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Assalamu wa barakatuh.
So there are two mosques here, and one is closer to a house and the other is a bit far. So the Imam of the mosque that is closer to a house, he makes a mistake in Fatiha that nullifies the Salah, but he is able to recite it correctly. So I don't pray behind him. I go to the mosque that's a bit far, but during Fajr when it is dark and the streets are empty, a pack of wild street dogs, they stay in the middle of the road. And some of these dogs are aggressive as they have rushed at me before, so I fear harm from them. So what should I do in this case?
If the Imam of the nearby masjid can pronounce the Fatiha correctly and does not, and the mistake he's doing is something that is unforgivable, so such a mistake that you're certain that nullifies the Fatiha, you cannot pray there. Go after the prayer is over and make another jama'ah. But if the mistake is something that can be tolerated, so instead of saying غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ, he says غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ, ظا and not ضا. This is accepted in some qira'ah and due to the similarity. Or he says مَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ, ظا. This is also accepted and can be tolerated. So you have to first figure out what mistake issue, because Allah tells us to eat and drink until we can distinguish from the white thread from the black thread, which means that we can see the break of dawn. Now, usually we're dependent not on visual contact, rather on apps, timetables, or the adhan. And we have to rely on the adhan if we cannot verify it visually. Why? Because on the Day of Judgment, the mu'adhin will be held accountable, as he is the guarantor for us to break our fast and to start our prayer. Nevertheless, if the adhan is given for Fajr 2 minutes earlier, this is negligible. So for you to come and challenge this because the app says so-and-so and the timetable says so-and-so is difficult. You will not be questioning them on the Day of Judgment. You will be questioning the mu'adhin. So 2 minutes, the adhan is given before Fajr, you refrain from eating and drinking. But you do not pray Fajr until the 2 minutes are over and you are certain that all of the three agree that it is time for Fajr prayer, and Allah knows best. Mustafa from the States.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, I have two questions.
One only.
Okay, Sheikh. The breaking of fast. Me and my friend, couple of my friends in Alaska, we follow Saudi time. But because of the position of the sun, like the time we are breaking our fast, which is 6:39 p.m., we still see the sun. Some of our friends follow the normal applications, like they have some application in their mobile, so they break their fast little late. So, like, I wanted to know about that.
So Mustafa, are you asking about breaking the fast earlier or later? Yes or no?
Yes, in Alaska, specifically in Alaska, because
in Alaska. So the people in Alaska have different timings than us, because sometimes they have like 6 months, the the sun is visible and they don't have a sunset. So it's all daytime. And sometimes they have 6 months, less or more, all nighttime. They don't see the sun. If this is what you're asking about, Mustafa, then the scholars say that you have to resort to the closest city, their timings, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Abdullah from Canada.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
كيف حالك؟
حياك الله.
I had a question. My question is that is it permissible after the Fajr Salah to make sajda?
This is something that has recently appeared in our masjids, where people after Fajr prayer and after making their adhkar, just before they leave, they simply fall down and prostrate, prolong their prostration, and then stand up and leave. And when you ask them, what is this? They say, we're so grateful to Allah. We wanted to express our gratitude to Allah, so we're offering this sajda. This is totally haram, prohibited. And this is an innovation, because neither the Prophet ﷺ had ever done such a thing, whether after Fajr prayer or any other prayer, nor the companions, nor the tabi'een, nor the tabi'it tabi'een. So it's not logical that you know more than them. One says or argues that the Prophet offered ﷺ prostration of gratitude. And we would say, how many times? And he said, I don't know, maybe once or twice. This indicates that such prostration of gratitude is done only when there is a necessity to it that calls for it. So I always give the example. Every month when you get your paycheck, you don't offer this prostration of gratitude. Every now and then when your wife manages to cook a good meal, you don't offer such, well, sometimes, yeah, okay, you don't. Why? Because this is happening regularly. But something that is not regular, if someone says, Alhamdulillah, the Muslims in Palestine managed to free their land or to beat the occupying enemy of Israel, I said, Alhamdulillah, we make prostration. If someone says, your uncle who was undergoing a serious major surgery, Alhamdulillah, made it, I make a prostration. But not doing it every day or every now and then over such a thing, that would be considered a total innovation. This is all the time we have. Until we meet tomorrow, same time, I leave you fi amanillah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
لقد كان لكم في رسول الله أسوة